Welcome to Soaring into Sports. It was a busy fall weekend, so we're excited to jump right into it. I'm your co-host, Owen Dumonso, and back to my left, to your right, is co-host Jess Poppin, who was helping out our golf team earlier this week. Jess, welcome back.
Good to be back. Missed you guys last week. Wish I could have been here to talk to Dr. Hill, but duty calls sometimes. Had to help out with the UNW invite, which we'll discuss the full results of. Good day for the UNW golf teams, but always good to be back here recording with you guys.
Yeah, we're excited to jump right into it, and like just mentioned, we're going to get right into UNW golf, who had their invite last week, Monday and Tuesday. The women's team did very, very well, placing first and fourth, as well as the men placing very well as well, getting second and third, as well as 12th. A very, very good week for the golf team. Yeah,
always a fun event. Pretty much every golfer on both rosters gets to play, so you kind of have your A, B, and in the men's case C teams playing. Mm-hmm. Good for all of them to get the chance to get out there and compete, since for a lot of these tournaments they can only bring 5 people. It was a fun day. Fox Hollow Golf Club, they had some early rain. They didn't actually have any delay or anything. They kind of powered through, and it turned out to be a beautiful afternoon. As you mentioned, the women got the win as a team, shot a 318, which would have tied the school record had they not broken it the previous Saturday. 3 great performances to lead the way. Paige Johnson, medalist with a 77, which earned her both NCCAA and UMAC Player of the Week honors for women's golf. Morgan Ekman right behind her with a 78, and then freshman Bree Brandt, Blaine Bengal, as you're well aware, has been on fire to start the year. She shot a 79, so awesome team effort from the ladies. And then the men had some good performances as well. They actually, like you mentioned, went second and third, so if they had kind of maneuvered their lineup into the optimal way, they probably could have had a chance to win. Bethany Lutheran ended up winning the men's team side of things by 7 strokes, but Carson Bessinen, freshman, did get the win in his debut. As far as individual side goes, he tied with a Bethany Lutheran golfer, Keaton Ginter, but won on a scorecard playoff with having a better score on the hardest handicap hole on the course. So technically got the win there, shooting a 69, 3 under. Some other good performances as well from some young guys. I mean, Luke Frizzell in his debut, Carson Merzberger, those guys both finished top 5, I believe. With, I believe, 71 and 72, I want to say, maybe 72 and 73. And then Shane Seifert right behind him with the 75, as always, just so steady. So, really good start to the year for both golf teams, which we'll kind of talk about them more later with previewing their Thursday tournament.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of impressive freshmen, our women's cross-country team had a really good finish, a couple finishes this weekend at the Tony St. Pierre cross-country event. Both the men's and the women's teams didn't place as high, but both teams had really good finishes, breaking some personal records on the men's side for Kephart. I believe that's Peter Kephart, notches his first new PR. So big shout out for him, as that was a big event. But almost all the women on their side were able to shave down their times from the previous event.
Yeah, that's one of the fun parts about kind of monitoring the cross country season as they go on is you can see those tangible results if the times are getting lower every time. So it's fun to see those come in and just as I used to write the cross-country recaps. Now Megan McGow does it, but every recap you're writing, it's like, that's a season best, that's a season best, that's a season best, and that just means that they're getting better as the season goes on, which is obviously all the improvement you want to see. And I think the women's team, Crown is going to be tough at the UMAC Women's Championships. They return a lot, and they were national champions on the NCCAA side in track. So they're going to be tough to beat, but I think our women are gonna give them a good run, and as long as they continue to improve like that, I think we'll have a pretty solid squad by the end of the season.
Yeah, a very exciting cross-country scene. I know Coach Fitzgerald is very excited and very happy with how the season has started, and also being very excited about how the season has started as a women's soccer team. Coach Danny Brandt, who we'll be interviewing later in this episode, he got his first win as the Eagles head coach, taking down down Concordia 1-0 before falling to Nebraska Wesleyan. But successful weekend, getting the first win as they gear up for St. Olaf this week.
Yeah, awesome to see Coach Brandt get the first win, monkey off his back a little bit there. Kind of a grinded out 1-0 win at Concordia on the road, on the grass there in Moorhead. And then you got to turn around the next day and play another game the next afternoon. So, looked like they kind of ran out of gas in that second half, scored 2 goals in the first half, and I believe it was 3-2 at halftime. We were trailing. Just the legs kind of gave out in the second half, which will happen when you're playing a back-to-back like that. But really good effort from the ladies this past weekend. And, the next time we'll see them will be right here at Reynolds Field on Saturday against St. Olaf. So really excited to finally have them at home. And I know Coach Brandt, spoiler alert, said he was excited to be have the home crowd behind him this weekend as well.
Yeah, for sure. Exciting to have the home crowd behind him this weekend. On Wednesday, actually, is going to be Coach Wheaton, who just got his 200th win. Big milestone there for Coach as they took a massive Bible College down after falling to the now ranked 7th in the country Augsburg early in the week. It was good to get a win under his belt for this year.
Yeah, they played Augsburg on Wednesday and lost that one, and then the rankings just came out today as we're recording this on Tuesday, and Augsburg jumped from not ranked at the time to all the way up to number 7 in the country. So that kind of tells you what the type of team they were dealing with down there in Minneapolis. But turned around quickly a couple days later, got the win down in Dubuque against Emmaus. Coach Wheaton's 200th win. He's been here a long time and had a lot of good teams and good success, and has long been the winningest coach in program history. But now gets that big round number of 200, and we'll have a cool presentation for him Wednesday night. So if you're listening to this before Wednesday night, get on out to Reynolds Field for the men's soccer game against Stout. And get there early because we'll have a nice presentation for Coach Wheaton. And as long as everything stays as planned, little surprise for you, his daughter's actually going to be singing the national anthem.
That's
so kind of cool.
Yeah, excited for that. Continuing on with the most winning coach theme, volleyball was once again back at it this weekend for the KTIS Classic, sweeping the number 17 team in the country at the time, Milliken. Big W over St. Olaf. I know Minnesota rivalry in there a little bit, and then ended up losing to Dubuque, who is now ranked as of today at the 23 spot in the country. So a very competitive weekend for them, and a really good test before they go to Texas this weekend.
Yeah, another weekend of really high-level volleyball here in the Erickson Center. It was fun to see. Energy was incredible Friday night for the sweep of Milliken. It was absolutely bonkers in there. So that's always fun to see, when they're playing on the big court and everything. So we appreciate the fans showing up and showing out for that one. The St. Olaf 5-setter was a thrilling match. Marliani just about put up a triple-double in that one with 12 kills, 10 blocks, and 8 digs. Which earned her another UMAC and NCCAA Player of the Week honor on the defensive side, and then lost to a tough Dubuque team in the finale there. That was receiving votes, is now ranked, and definitely should be ranked. They might be, we lost to Co weekend 1, Dubuque weekend 2. I think Dubuque might be the best team we've played so far this season.
I would agree. They were a very solid team all the way around. It was a good test before they get into this next weekend down in Texas, where they will be playing a lot of top 25, top 30 matchups, going against the number 10, 12, and a receiving votes team in the country. So it's going to be a very tough weekend for them, but a very good test to see where they're at and how good our team has meshed so far.
Yeah, Coach Wilmoth is not afraid to schedule tough, as we've seen the last few years here, and it really gets her team battle tested for the end of the season when they go into the UMAC schedule where they're not playing nationally ranked teams as much, which I will say the UMAC's gotten a lot more competitive in volleyball.
It has.
Superior got us once last year. Bethany Lutheran just beat Co this last weekend. I don't know if you heard that.
Yes.
The UMAC is getting a lot better in volleyball, but again, still getting these games against nationally ranked teams under your belt will help you when November and December come around. So they got their work cut out for them, but it should be a fun weekend of volleyball if you guys want to tune in. We'll have all the links to watch on UNWEagles.com. So looking forward to see, just how they stack up against the country's best.
Yeah, it was interesting to see how our football team also stacked up in their first contest this weekend, taking on St. Olaf. Down on the St. Olaf campus. Ended in a loss, but not a lack of effort on the defensive side. A very good effort from our defense, only giving up one touchdown and only a couple field goals. The one score of the game that the Eagles did get was a touchdown pass from Basil Demko to Will Schleicher, starting off really hot for the Eagle offense at tight end and quarterback. And they will also be very, very tested this weekend as they take on the up the road rival, taking on number 12 in the country, the Bethel Royals.
Yep, Chapter 2 of the rivalry renewed. We had Chapter 1 last year here at Reynolds Field against Bethel. We'll be up on the Bethel campus this week. It's actually the first game that they've ever had under the lights at their stadium, first night game. So would love to see a lot of purple in the crowd there. If you guys are free Saturday, 6 p.m., make your way over to Bethel. And get loud for the Eagles. So, that one will be fun. Will be an incredible atmosphere. But as far as that last weekend against St. Olaf, like you said, the defense gave up one touchdown with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. To that point, they had only given up field goals. They'd really held tough. 3 interceptions. Wes Schleybaugh in his freshman debut with one. Michael Montoya in his defensive debut at D-line got an interception. The defense really held their own and did a pretty good job. Just some unfortunate kind of turnovers, mistakes that the Olies were able to capitalize on to kind of jump out to that big lead. Basil Demko comes in. Ty Schultz, unfortunately, has to leave the game with injury. Basil, who switched from linebacker a couple weeks ago, comes fresh off the bench and tosses a bomb down the left sideline to Trey Ulmer to get him into scoring range, and then a couple plays later, touchdown to Will Schleicher. So, provide a little spark there off the bench. I'm sure, if he's got a full week of practice as a starter, they'll figure out, what plays kind of suit him best and his athleticism and everything. So, looking forward to seeing them on Saturday against the Royals for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We're very excited to see that. We do want to mention the UMAC Athletes of the Week that we missed. It was kind of a weird week with Labor Day, so we missed it in the last episode. But week 1 for the UMAC Athletes of the Week, as we previously mentioned, Marliani still doing the thing in her senior year, still one of the best for the defense side. Naomi Meehan for the women's soccer team, she also got a UMAC Athlete of the Week award as well. Asin Genegas also for her setting abilities. Volleyball kind of splits it up for a couple, so her ability setting and setting up not only Marliani but also people like Miranda Wyatt and Anna Agee as well. Tyler Duber from our cross country team for the men's side, he had basically placed first and kind of set the tone for the first invite.
His first ever cross country meet too.
Correct,
he played soccer the last couple of years in the fall. So.
Yeah, big accomplishment for Tyler Duber there, and then also Morgan Ekman for week 1 for our women's golf side. Still one of the best in the business, arguably the best in the business for women's golf for UNW. And then for this week, Paige Johnson for her efforts this week at the UNW Invite. Got UMAC Athlete of the Week. Troy Johnson for soccer, Defensive Athlete Player of the Week. Marie Kendall for the women's soccer side, also for defensive. Marley Ani once again getting another UMAC Player of the Week, and as Jess had mentioned, another NCCAA mention for Marley Ani for defense as well as Carson Benison, who freshman golfer and big accomplishment, getting an Athlete of the Week in one of his first events, and then Paige Johnson also getting another UMAC. A NCCAA Athlete of the Week. It was a very successful 2 weeks to start the season for the Eagles.
Yeah, a lot of hardware, a lot of press releases, a lot of graphics being made on our end. So the beginning of the year always seems like the busiest. I don't know if it's just that our teams come out ready to play right away or what the deal is. But, the last couple of years we went a lot early in the season, which is awesome to see. And, says a lot about how the athletes and coaches are prepared for those first few weeks of the season. So yeah, I mean that's the fun work. So I hope they keep doing it, keep putting me to work, and I hope we get a few more here for the weeks to come.
Yeah, we'd be remiss without mentioning the men's golf team is currently playing right now. It is Tuesday, so their final rounds are kind of wrapping up as we are filming, but they are perceived to finish in the top half for this event, as well as a look forward to the UMAC preview later this week. That should be pretty fun as well. As we had mentioned, women's soccer plays St. Olaf this Saturday, the 13th, and as also previous mentioned, men's soccer gets to take on Stout on Wednesday the 10th. Yeah.
Yep. Another busy week. We got men's soccer coming up first, as I said. Get out there and show some support for Greg Wheaton for the 200th win, and some support for the fellas against a good Stout team. UMAC preview will be in Becker, Minnesota at Pebble Creek Golf Club on Thursday. Both men's and women's teams are expected to be contenders in that. They get to kind of play the course that they'll play in the UMAC championships. To kind of, one, that's how the conference kind of like seeds them for the conference tournament to kind of know who needs to be in kind of the best groups versus, playing in the back. And then also gives the players, obviously, a chance to play the course before they have to when the stakes are super high. Which is nice because, obviously it'll be a little bit different because usually I'm wearing a stocking cap when I'm out there for the conference championship. But, it's nice. Great golf course. Love getting out there and seeing them. So that'll be fun. And then, women's soccer home opener coming up on Saturday. That is the only varsity sport that we have on campus this weekend. So we've got, you said volleyball down in Texas. Obviously, football is going to be at Bethel, which is nearby, so obviously drivable distance for anyone that wants to go. But only one thing on campus this weekend, so go out and support those ladies. Yeah,
we're excited to see you, Eagle Nation. We can't wait for you to show up, and it is a big week to show up, so hopefully we'll see a lot of people out in the stands this week. That wraps up our review and preview of the past week and a half or so of Eagle Athletics and our preview for the next week. Please now enjoy this interview with women's soccer head coach Danny Brandt. We're excited to have this next guest with us, hot off the heels of his first win as head coach of the women's soccer team here at the University of Northwestern. We're excited to have Coach Danny Brandt with us. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. A couple games into the season, and things have been going well, and excited and hopeful that things can keep going well.
Yeah, for sure. More on that first win, 1-0 win, had to grind it out for most of that game. How was that feeling after those the clock hit 0 and then you get that first win as an Eagle?
Yeah, no, it was great. I was extremely proud of the girls. I mean, we had another game coming up the next day. So at Concordia, but then also played Nebraska Wesleyan the next day. And so I think throughout the entire weekend, the girls just were ready to grind, ready to work. We actually didn't sub quite as much as I thought we would. And so a couple girls played 90 minutes and just so proud of them to grind out that win. And, I think we set a goal for ourselves to beat teams from top conferences this year. And so to get our first win against a MIAC school was, I think, even that much sweeter for both myself and the whole team as well.
For sure,
Yeah, got the first win against a MIAC school, tied Bethel in the season opener, another good MIAC program. So you guys are 1-1-1 on the season. How much does it help, especially early in the year, to have a talented and experienced roster that you kind of inherited? Obviously, Haley Mersberger is the best goal scorer that the school has ever seen. How much does that help kind of early on, having a team like that?
Yeah, I think the senior class in particular, as leaders both on and off the field, have been huge. And I think that it was apparent from the day I got here that the seniors wanted to just give everything for their last year here. And they have been, I think that it takes leadership to push a team through the hard times and carry the team through easy times as well. And so I think that the senior class has been so important in terms of their leadership, but it's also a group of great players who are all starting for me right now and getting heavy minutes, and they've really produced on the field as well. From Haley up front to, we have another captain, Mallory Mosman, in the back, and then other seniors all around those two who have been putting in fantastic performances so far this year.
Yeah, and speaking of those performances, you guys have played 2 weeks. You have 2 players of the week already. Naomi Meehan on the offensive side last week. Marie Kendall on the defensive side just announced today as we're recording this. Talk a little bit. Those are 2 young players too, sophomore and freshman. So you're even getting contributions from the youngsters too.
Yeah, I mean, Naomi herself was voted by the team as a captain after her freshman season, and I think that it shows up off the field, but it definitely shows up on the field as well. I mean, for her, she scored a huge goal and a fantastic goal against Bethel to bring us even, and she's a competitor. She is just all in for the team here, and I think has proved why she's been voted a captain so early. And then Marie has had nothing but unbelievable performances in her first 3 college games here, and I think that she has picked us up, and if she's giving this good of performances as a freshman so far, I think that the sky's the limit for the rest of her career here, so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, we're really excited for the start of UMAC play. It's starting up soon. We got a home opener against St. Olaf this weekend on Saturday, and then right after that we're starting up with some more UMAC opponents, and just kind of the excitement around that and the idea of like home games and having starts at home and being able to have support behind you guys as well, and kind of that idea as well.
Yeah, we've got 2 tough games before conference play starts, and so I think that as excited as we are to get going in the UMAC, and I think we really truly are excited to get going in the UMAC because we've proved that we can grind out and get results, and I think that's a good trait for a team to have. We're resilient, we're gritty. We have 2 very tough opponents. I mean, St. Olaf is a nationally respected women's soccer program who's really going to bring it here, and so they'll be a big test. And then we have Stout right after that, who is has made one of the craziest single-season turnarounds I've ever seen, and has proved that this year they're going to be a really competitive WIAC team. But I think that in the end, we load up our non-conference schedule because those games against, again, I would call most of them nationally respected teams. I think that it makes us battle tested for when conference comes. I mean, the whole pre-conference schedule for us, we want those results at the same time. I think that if we're able to go in to conference playing a little bit better of an out-of-conference schedule than your average UMAC team, that hope is that we can become battle tested and a little bit more ready for conference play when it starts. And we're certainly gunning after trying to win the conference this year. And I got a senior class who's really hungry for it, who has come close getting to the final, but not quite able to do it. And I think that we're ready to bring it this year.
Yeah.
So.
Excited to play under the lights at Reynolds Field on Saturday finally.
Yeah, without a doubt. I actually think that we're a great team at home. We've only been able to play on grass in our first 3 games, and so we're used to our turf. I think we play really well on our turf, and I think that even in our we had a preseason game against Hamlin, and the crowd for that blew me away for just a preseason game that wasn't even marketed very heavy. And so I think that the girls really appreciate the support, and I think that they get energized by the fans and just being at home and being on campus. And so I think that I think it'll help us on the field without a doubt. And with 3 away games to start the year, like, we're itching to play under the lights at home in the stadium. So
I bet.
Yeah, we're excited to see that. We're excited to have you on board in the Eagle family. Excited to have you as your first year here. Any final thoughts for you as tougher opponents, like you said, getting into the UMAC, your senior class? Any other final thoughts for you?
Only that could use some fan support for the next 2 games. Like I said, it's 2 very, very nationally respected programs that we have coming in here, and we're honest with ourselves, and we know that that's a tough order for us to go out and get results against them. So I think that any fan support helps, just because we'll need the energy to really grind through those games. We know, and we tell ourselves we're going to have to be gritty or resilient, whether we go up a goal or down a goal. And so I think that support from the UNW community would be great for us over these next 2 before we head into UMAC play.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming onto the podcast. We appreciate you sitting down for an interview. Really, really appreciate that. Huge shout out to audio and visual producer Caleb Welsh for always behind the scenes doing all the stuff. UNW Nation, as Coach Brandt just said, go out and support our athletes. It's a big weekend, a lot of things going on. Can't wait for it. Coach Brandt, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, of course. And don't forget, go Eagles.